All right, let me quickly walk through this. So you, under login, admin, uh, you can go to admin, agent providers. You can show all these open AI ones. You can show that you can choose a variety of models. And then you can show admin organizations. Here's all the organizations. We're going to use the workshop one. You can view this. You can see it has 4 agent personas, and then it's got 15 users and 1 admin. That's the count we're logged in. And then it's got student, student, teacher, student, student, teacher. So every 3rd user is a teacher. So 3, 6, 9, 12, and 15 are all teachers. Then what we can also do is you can show the organizations page. Here's the workshop. And you can go to manage agent personas. You can see these 3 personas. You can go into this one function coder. You can see you're a programming buddy that writes single functions. Each response is just the function code. Write concise comments inside the code itself, so no extra explanation outside is needed. And then you can choose direct, and you can give it like algorithm data structures, cross-language snippets, and refactoring. And that sort of helps it figure out what it's supposed to do. And this description you can ignore because it is not used at this time. But this would be used for the user to understand when they should use this agent. Okay. You can then go through the AI policy helper, your policy writing buddy. The AI put buddy in all of them. I'm not sure if it's a positive or a negative thing. But professional 1-paragraph notes on AI ethics and academic policies, clarity, fairness, enforceability, written in tone that can be shared with faculty, administrators, or students. So I chose formal, AI, academic policy, refinement and revision. This is for editing the document, and then clarity for stakeholders. These are sort of the things that I want it to be. Okay, so then you can go to the last one, the grading coach. So this one uses GPT-5 chat. The other 2, the coding one used 4.1, which I think is supposed to be good at coding, and the policy one used 4.0, which maybe has some reasoning, and this one is using chat GPT, and more like understanding that it's in a chat and that it's conversating with people. So it's going to assess the discussion. This is an agent that you'd probably run at the end of a discussion, highlighting the strengths and weaknesses across 4 areas. And then I told it to be encouraging, which might be a downside. It might like over embellish weakness, like strengths or weaknesses. And there's supportive as well, which maybe is a better choice. Policy-based grading, rubric design, and educational framing, I think are good specifications, specializations. And I put not specified for the length of all of them because I just wanted to respond. Like I would rather have it focus on this than the length. Okay, and then lastly, there's just a regular ChatGPT 5, which has no prompts, no nothing. It's just told that it's an AI agent, and it has no other additional instruction. Then you can go back to the organization's admin, and you can look at the user personas. Here you can see students and teachers. You can go to this student. You could edit their bio, give them some other sort of introduction for the AI. So this user 1 could be something, but I left all of the users blank. I didn't know if there was any intention between students and teachers. So the AI sort of interprets every user just as a user and doesn't really differentiate between teachers and students. All right. Lastly, you can go to manage discussions, and you can see all of the discussions I created. So group 1, 3, 4 through 6, 7 through 9, 10 through 12, 13 through 15. I added a break room for the teachers, so all the teachers can go in here, and I had a general discussion so everyone can go in here. And you can see that this is an invite only for all these other ones and not for the general discussion. Okay. However, I would not edit the discussions here, although you could. You could go in and edit and change this. So this is the break room, this casual discussion between teachers. But the better way to edit this and manage these roles is to go over to the discussions and go to manage discussions. So you'll see these are the same ones. So break room, all the groups, general discussion. And what I want to highlight is inside each group, the teacher, whoever is the third person, which is the teacher, is a moderator of this discussion. I'll show you that later. So what that means is that when they go to manage discussions, they'll see their one group and they can edit it and they can put it in their system prompt. Something like they're working, like whatever this group discussion decides to work on, like we're working on Python, we're working on policy, we're working on grading students, we're working on whatever thing they might want to work on, or whatever instructions they feel like this discussion should be about. Okay, now let's see what else. So when the user comes here, they will not have their user selected or their organization selected. So point that out. So organization needs to be workshop. This will auto select because they will only have one. User, admin, permission, persona, they should select their one and only. And what you'll see is when they don't have it selected, all these will be gray. And so that might trick some people up. So just make sure to let them know about the user persona dropdown. And then lastly, the agent, of course. Everyone should be choosing an agent that matches their goals. So the grading coach at the very end, the one function coder, and the AI policy helper. All right. And then, of course, you can show, like, you can create discussions and people can create their own things and restrict access as however they want. But in general, they probably should just stick to the discussions we have. So I think that is all for the manager. Let's go ahead and if you click your account, you can manage your account, but there's nothing really there, so just log out. If we go in as like user 8, actually let's go in as user 9. User 9 is a teacher. So what they'll see is this. This will be what they first see if they don't click anything before logging in. So they can click discussions, then they'll see this drop down, right? They can go to manage discussions, and because this is a teacher number 9, they can see this group, they can edit, they can delete it, they can manage the roles, they can change it from invite only to everyone, they can make one of the students a moderator, or they can add anyone else. And you're also a moderator. They could remove you from moderation, so just don't highlight that, and they probably won't do it. But it doesn't really matter if they remove you. It's just like for the demo, it's a little annoying if they remove you. You can just have them add you back. Okay, so yeah, they'll go in as the teacher. They'll set up the discussion, whatever it is, and then they'll tell their students or whatever it may be what they're working on. And you'll see. This is what I wanted to point out earlier. The break room is locked, and this is locked as well. And if they go there, your user persona selection does not have access, and that's because they don't have a selection, which they might not recognize. So they just need to select it, and then they'll be in, and they can go between the break room, their specific group, or the general discussion. Let's log in as a student. So if we log out here, log in, user 8. So go to discussions. You see they don't have a persona, so you should tell them to select one right away. All their things are set up. They can go to manage discussions, and because they're a student, they don't have any discussion. Of course, I could create one that they can then manage, but they have their 2 groups. So once again, they don't have the break room because that's a teacher-only discussion, and they have their specific group that they're part of, and then the general discussion. So when you get to the end of everyone working on this, you can log in as a user or something. You can show them like this, but what I would recommend is you go back to admin. Make sure you have the right password. and then go to discussions and select admin, and then just go through them. Like, be like, okay, this is what you guys in the break room, you guys didn't talk about the break room. Break room has this great feature where you can have like this a casual discussion between teachers. You could tell the AI to always respond with jokes, or always respond with like if there's messages that are sent recently, like tell the teachers to go back to work if they have a long discussion that is pointless or something like this. Yeah, you could show them like all of what each group decided to make their system prompt. That could be good. You could come over here and be like, what was the actual discussion? Who feels like they had the best discussion? And go to that group, walk through their thing, maybe bring up the grading coach, maybe ask the grading coach to interject its logic into there. Yeah, you go through each group if you want. Go to general discussion, maybe send a message to everyone. Hopefully they just play on chat and they don't go to the cards or the Explorer, unless you really want to show them something crazy. Alrighty, I think that's good. One last thing, just tried. So in the workshop, I created Carol, and I had her create just a private discussion for test agents. Let's check that our agents are correctly configured. Please introduce yourself and reply with one interesting fact about yourself. ChatGPT did like the regular, but it also pointed out that it is told that it is a research assistant. So that's something to note, that we do have custom instructions for an empty agent. Okay, then the one function coder actually tried to respond with a function, which is kind of funny, and it returns basically an explanation of what it is, which I find quite hilarious that it actually did that. The AI policy, goes through, and it's just sort of is simple. It doesn't do anything too interesting about the conversation. Now, the grading coach did something really strange. Good in some form or fashion. It looks like all the agents are responding in line with their role definitions, which I find kind of funny. Nice job setting the stage for smooth collaboration. Here's a quick check-in, framed as if I were grading their process the way I'd coach a teacher. So I thought that was kind of funny that the grading coach was like, I know that I'm a coach, and here's how I would be grading if I were actually grading, but I'm just pretending because I'm introducing myself. And then the encouraging part is, I told it to have an encouraging tone. So you set up a clear, and this part too, nice job. So maybe this is a conversation that you actually want to demo, or it's a conversation that you just want to go to. But the only person who has access is Carol, and she has that user 123 exclamation point password. So just keep that in mind. You could go in as Carol, and you could just show this, and you could always like manage discussions and change it from invite only to so everyone can see it, and then they can go in here and like destroy it or mess with it, or you can demo. You can start from here. You could create a discussion and like demo each agent responding, which might be good to make sure that you don't send them off and like one of the agents is broken. If you demo each of the agents, then maybe you can spot like a catastrophic error sooner rather than later. Also, I put them in order that I figured they would be the most natural to respond. Of course, do grading coach last, because then you might get this funny quirk where it's judging the conversation. There you go. There's one demo that might be very useful to show why multiple agents, even in one discussion, can do crazy things.